Hello Andrew, Rob and Anne. Welcome to the first Garageband course for 2016. How to do some basic recording with MIDI for upcoming units of work for music at VIS. Once you have plugged in your keyboard and it's installed, ready to go, we can start recording in Garageband. So I need you to watch this video before the session on Thursday, please. The first thing you need to do is open Garageband. By default, it'll bring up the previous project by yourself or a student. Just close it. So that's the red button on the top left-hand side. Just see how my mouse is going towards it and close it. Right. Now you're ready to start a new project. If you want students just to record some chords, for example, then the best thing to do is click on New Project over here, like so. And you'll get the default classic electric piano. You can hear it right now. If the green is highlighted here, that's the volume. You can tell that it is working. Okay, of course you can change your other pianos, but that's probably the best one. If you want to change different software piano or different instruments, you do so through the library right here. So, the first thing I'm going to talk to you about now is selecting an instrument, a software instrument. So, we've already got the piano by default. So to change that, you need to click on this arrow here. And this gives you lots of different options for instruments. For example, guitar, on the arrow, maybe a synthesizer. And most importantly for students to begin with, you would click back to the piano. And by default, you've got the Steinway grand piano. So I've selected my first instrument. So let's record chords. Now when you're using the piano with Garageband, you're recording MIDI, not an audio wave. So with MIDI, you can control and manipulate the chords or the playing, recording to the beat through quantization, which we'll talk about that a bit more later. So you might want the students to record maybe a 12-bar blues. So the first thing you're going to do is set up the region or cycle range. This just helps guides the students. So we're going to click on here, cycle, and extend it to 12 bars. That just means when you re-record or play back, it'll always go back to the start. That way the students won't get confused and record bars of music in the wrong place. Like so. If I press play, let's play again, it will go back to the start. If you want to take that off, you click on the loop button here. Okay, so let's record some chords. The first thing we're going to do before we record is we're going to change the tempo. Tempo is way too fast for recording. Let's slow that down. You may notice I've turned the metronome on. Very important for the students to have the metronome turned on so they can hear the click of the track so they can try and record to the beat. It can be modified later. It's easier to edit if the click track is turned on. And it's very important to have the counting on, so you have 4 beats to count in. Have a listen. And then it'll start recording through here. Okay, let's change the tempo to about 90 beats per minute. Let's check that. Okay. Right. Let's record the 12-bar blues. Okay, here we go. So, got the count-in turned on, got the metronome turned on, 9 beats per minute. Obviously, the students have practiced their chords for the 12-bar blues. And now let's record the 12-bar blues. Count-in goes first. Okay, not the best 12-bar blues recording you've ever heard, but you get the idea. So I recorded this very accurately, fairly accurately, but the power of MIDI is you can now quantize it so it's on the beat. Now how you do that, it's very simple and very important step for students. Because once they record their music chords, for example, it's very important to quantize it so it's on the beat. And that allows you to add other things, other tracks that they record or loops that will sync in time with the beat. It's probably the easiest way of explaining it to you. So we click the edit button here. I go to quantize down here. I go to the default is always 1/16. You can do it more accurately. You can change it to others by the quarter note or the eighth note, but the 16th note, you're saying that's called a semiquaver, is most accurate, and it quantizes it most accurately. As you can tell, look at the MIDI region over here. If I turn that off, then on, you can see how it pulls it to the eighth note, the 16th note for every bar. There's one bar broken up and now into 16ths. Okay, let's have a listen. Now it's pretty accurate now. Okay. We've just recorded the sequence of the chords. Now, if you don't like the Steinway piano, and students might prefer another instrument, I guess they could go to, oops, an organ sound and change it. Okay, so there you have it. The first lesson with Garageband 101 is recording a chord sequence with a MIDI controller in Garageband. So look forward to the second section on this with the next video on adding a ground bass or percussion to this piece of music. Thanks very much.